So Democrat House Whip Katherine was on Jake Tapper's program. And, honestly, I see a lot of these clips and I scan them and I'm thinking, oh, Jesus, more cringe. But you know what? This is probably the best statement I've seen from a Democrat. And the other good part about this and why I want to show this video is Jake Tapper is already been primed to tell you the scam. I told you this last week. What is the scam here? They want to pretend that there's such a thing as moderate Republicans, that the moderate Republicans were able to fend off and rein in the crazies. That is the narrative that they're going to run with. The moderates, the adults in the room. But is that really a thing? Let's watch.
They talked about, balancing the budget. They talked about opening up the process. Some Democrats that I've talked to like some of the concessions that the rebels like Chip Roy exacted. They support liberalizing the process for amendments, for allowing more people to add amendments for the appropriations.
Did you hear the words? Liberalizing the process.
The rebels like Chip Roy exacted. They support liberalizing the process for amendments, for allowing more people to add amendments for the appropriations process. Is it possible?
Useful fucking dumbasses. Now, typically, a Democrat here would probably go like, oh, yeah. But you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know anything about Katherine Clark. I've heard of her before. I don't really know anything about her. But so far, let's check this out.
Well, that some of what happened here might ultimately be good for the American people?
What we are seeing here is that when they talk about process, that is a smokescreen. What none of the representatives you just had on would take on is that they've already put this out there. This is their written agenda that they had put forward during the midterms, that they are going to use the debt ceiling as leverage to take American seniors hostage. This is their plan. They voted to raise the debt ceiling 3 times under the Trump administration. This is all about forcing us to make cuts to Social Security, where the hard-earned earnings of Americans reside, and Medicare, so that they can, enact that in the middle of a crisis. That is taking our seniors hostage. We have to be clear about this. And all the talk about process and amendments and germaneness, that is cover for what they're really trying to do, which is dismantle the equities of our economy and to make sure that their billionaire buddies continue to thrive at the expense of hardworking American families.
Well, maybe you heard when I asked Congressman Roy about...
Hey, from a Democrat that I have never really heard much from, hey, that's pretty good, right? So now again, why am I playing this clip? Because this is the messaging the Democrats need to run with. What she did was she took what Jake Tapper said and said, your whole question is fucking stupid and here's why. Right, so Jake Tapper gives like the most pro-fascist, pro-Republican fucking shit you could possibly go with. And then she is like, yeah, that question, I don't want to embarrass you too much, Jake. I like you. You're a good guy. But that was the dumbest thing I've ever heard, and here's why. And that's good. That's good messaging. I just got to say, I'm here to tell you when a Democrat says something interesting, I open my eyes. I listen. Right? It doesn't happen often, but it happens every once in a while. And we'll see. Is this the Democratic unity message? Are they going to all jump on this? Because the other day, Hakeem Jeffries was crying and hugging Kevin McCarthy. So, I don't know. But let's keep going.
About whether or not Medicare and Social Security were mentioned when they talked about the negotiations. And one of the key concessions McCarthy made to hardline Republicans in exchange for the support was to tie any debt ceiling increase to spending cuts. Chip Roy said it's the whole budget. He didn't say Medicare, Social Security. He said it's the whole budget.
Why is Jake Tapper just giving pro-fascist propaganda on live television? Now, what is the average age of a CNN viewer? 20 years old? No, no way. 30? Nah. 40? Probably not. 50? Maybe. 60? 65? I mean, who watches this shit? Why is Jake Tapper trying to lie to old people? Max the dog. Maxie, are you okay? He's making noises in his sleep. He's sleeping right next to me. But anyway, so a little food for thought there. A little food for thought.
Budget needs to be discussed. America is going to reach its borrowing limit sometime later this year. Obviously, the United States government is spending more money than it is taking in. Are you willing to consider any spending cuts? Will Democrats accept anything other than a completely clean bill?
Why is Jake Tapper queuing up fascist propaganda here? Like, what the fuck? Now let's see what she has to say.
To raise the debt ceiling.
Let's look back at the Inflation Reduction Act, where Democrats put in place $1.7 trillion in deficit reduction. And how many votes did we get from the Republican side of the aisle? 0.
Those were tax increases,
That is
right?
how
Not spending
serious.
cuts. Just to be.
So again, Jake Tapper with the fascist propaganda, interrupting her. Oh, those are tax increases. Yeah, you increase taxes. Right, because most Americans are so stupid. When they hear tax increase for billionaires, they think, are my taxes going up? You know, I was doing pretty good last year. You know, hey, I'm no billionaire, but my taxes going up. I heard Democrats are raising taxes on the wealthy. You know, I got $30,000 a year. I think I'm pretty wealthy. Or a Democrat raising my taxes. And that's what Jake Tapper is tapping into. Let's keep going.
Precise.
That's right.
Okay.
But that is, you know, it isn't tax increases. It is tax enforcement. It is making sure that billionaires cannot cheat while we keep asking hardworking Americans to pay their fair share. This is putting equity back in our system. And this is the first thing on the Republican agenda they want to undo. So we have to look past their rhetoric around this is about process and amendments. This is about continuing to rig the system.
So, I don't know what they're doing here. They're just like scrolling another video. Okay, I'm going to turn that off. So anyway, I think if Democrats ran with that and stick with that for the next 2 years, you know what? I'm in. Now, I don't think they will. I think Democrats are going to fold. I do. Why? I think Democrats are weak. I do. I think they're weak. So I'd like to be proven wrong. But as far as a Democrat going on CNN and debunking fascist propaganda, she's not Bernie Sanders, but that was a pretty good job. She, again, reframed all the questions and saying the questions are made up garbage. Which is true. It's not about process. It's not about liberalizing. Did you hear what Jake Tapper said? The Republicans want to liberalize the process. What does that mean? Like, seriously, these people are insane, right? And so Democrats, if they're going to start standing up, now's the fucking time. Hey, should have been 2 years ago. You should have been standing up to Joe Manchin and Joe Biden. But hey, now's the time. Let's see, the professional opposition party. Let's see if they can do anything good nowadays. But again, what she said is true. Republicans are trying to fuck this country up, but they can't pass laws to fuck this country up. They know they don't have the Senate or the presidency. So they're going to use process to fuck this country up. They're going to filibuster important legislation to fuck this country up. They're going to do all that they can to fuck this country up. And that's what they've said they're going to do. That's what their actions are going to do. And this whole, the moderate Republicans have reigned in the radicals. It's just made up garbage. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. And I'm glad that Democrats are at least trying to cut through that on television. So, again, we'll see how much this keeps up. Or if it keeps up. This might be just a one-off. We'll see. But we'll see. And the reason why I think it's important is because, again, this is someone in House leadership. This isn't AOC. This isn't Ilhan Omar, right? This isn't a squad member. This is someone in House leadership who's actually being tough a little bit, unlike Hakeem Jeffries. Hakeem Jeffries is a fucking shit show. So, again, we're probably going to see, she's probably going to get a phone call. She probably has already gotten a phone call by the time this segment has happened. Hey, I saw that segment on there. You really shouldn't have said that. I'm sure Hakeem Jeffries is already talking down to her. But hey, we'll see. Maybe I'll be proven wrong. Maybe Democrats will get their shit together for once in my life. I'm 26 years old. I never seen Democrats get their shit together. So maybe it'll happen. Who knows? We'll see. I'm here for it, but I'm not going to be waiting for it. I'm not going to bet on it. But hey, if this is the direction they're going in, I say I'm in.